Welcome back. You're watching Prime Property. I'm Nayantara Rai. This week we're coming to you from inside Hyderabad. The city's commercial real estate market has been outperforming its peers and rentals have appreciated 10% in the last 1 year. We've already told you how Hyderabad has been edging out Bengaluru to secure office deals for giants like Amazon, Uber, Microsoft, Google. The list carries on. So when are we likely to see a pickup in the housing market? I reached out to one of Hyderabad's best-known developers, My Home Group, to get a perspective on the city's residential market and an outlook on prices. My Home Group, incidentally, is considered to be one of the top 5 industrial houses in Telangana with interest in power, cement, education and real estate.
Broadly speaking, this is being long overdue for Hyderabad. Ever since 2008, the market has been pretty, kind of muted, but things have been looking better thanks to the political consolidation, and the sentiment is upbeat now. And we have, in the last few months, as you've just mentioned, had a lot of commercial interest that's come in. And I think it takes a little time by the time it kicks in into the residential market. As you know, these offices have to be filled and then the employment comes in and that in turn goes into the residential market. But as it is, the sentiment is very wide. The larger sentiment is very strong. There is a lot of renewed interest, a lot of inquiries. The whole market is looking very positive as of now. Yeah.
What I'm also told is, and when we visited the city, what we saw was great infrastructure, be the outer ring road, you have an international airport to boast of, you have a metro, etc. So the infrastructure very much exists in Hyderabad. The other important fundamental for any sound property market is a strong jobs market, which also seems to exist. So can you give me an idea of where residential prices are right now in Hyderabad and what your outlook would be?
Yeah, as you rightly mentioned, Hyderabad has got one of the best infrastructure in the country to put so, because the outer ring road, the metro, the international airport and the roads by themselves are pretty large, and the large infrastructure is very good in place. And the residential market is quite, to put it in this sense, Hyderabad is one of the most affordable market you can find in India today. Given its central location at a pan-India scale, and given its knowledge and IT capabilities, the kind of product you get in here, it ranges right from 3,000 rupees a square foot to 6,000 to 8,000. That is the best. The CBD demands 8,000 to 10,000. You can compare it to a Delhi, Bombay, which is, at skyrocketing prices. But that way, the IT district, the Gachibowli, the western zone, the Madhapur, the Gachibowli, Kondapur, Popalguda, these are the new western suburban. This is where the city is going to kick off and take a big, huge leap. And I would say this market is between the range of 4,000 to 6,000 rupees.
Shafra, what you're telling me that it starts at 3,000 rupees a square foot and goes up to 8,000 rupees a square foot. I don't know why you're only drawing parallels with Delhi and Mumbai, because it even seems cheaper than a Bengaluru, a Pune, and even Chennai.
Absolutely. That way, I think Hyderabad has that advantage of being very cost efficient. There are a lot of local builders and there is a lot of cost competitiveness. There's a huge real estate sector. Hyderabad is known for its pharma and real estate and the infra companies, and there is a huge amount of capabilities within. So the cost of construction, the efficiency, and if you notice the land policy here, the municipal corporation rules, it is a very unique policy where you have no FSI restriction as such. It is an open market. It is subject to your setbacks and it is the road width. So if you have large roads of 100, 150 feet, you can go up to 4 or 5 FSI, right? So that gives in a lot of availability. I think it's a very unique model that you haven't seen in the country, and that keeps the supply situation quite always there. So, the affordability tag is here to stay for quite a bit amount of time, is what I would say. There's no seeing huge jump in prices. I think it will be gradual.
So there is no restriction on FSI.
Yeah.
So, Sham, sorry to interrupt you there. So if you're saying that the FSI there's no restriction, it depends on the road ahead of you.
Yes.
Are you seeing any skyscrapers come in Hyderabad? I'm talking about these 40-story tall buildings, 50-story tall buildings.
Yes, in fact, My Home Constructions, our company, we are coming up with a 36-storied high-end residential apartments in Madhapur, in Raidurg. In the next couple of months, we're going to launch it. and we have another project in Popalguda which is about 30 storied. So Hyderabad is poised for a big leap now, I would say, because the last 6-7 years of kind of lull that we have seen, that is going to span out in the next few months and years to come.
Okay, so we are going to see 40-story tall buildings.
Oh, yes.
Sham, I want to talk a little more to you about pricing. What we have seen is that whenever a market is affordable, it's not very long before it becomes unaffordable.
That's right.
So, what is the kind of price appreciation that you're anticipating? What kind and in which all areas?
See, typically I think 8 to 10% hike is what you should really expect, because anything beyond that you would probably see a boom, and it kind of creates a bubble in the market. You shouldn't be expecting more than 8 to 10% is what I would put it at. But given that, given Hyderabad's, the kind of strategic location, the high-tech city and the Madhapur area, which is seeing significant growth, there's a huge amount of land available here. So the minute the prices really shoot up drastically beyond this point, even if there's a huge amount of demand, if you put it, there is new supply to come in, and it can easily negate the huge upside of the price. So I would say 8 to 10% on a year-to basis is a very good to go for the next 4 to 5 years. That's where I see it.
And which are the new hot realty hubs that are coming up in Hyderabad? And I mean from a residential point of view.
Residential point of view, it is again the western side, because this is where the IT district is, and the city also, if you see the Banjara Jubilee Hills, is well connected to this. This is the central CBD now. So 8 to 10 kilometers from Jubilee Hills and Madhapur is where the whole activity is happening. Right from the Miapur and the Hafizpet and the Chandanagar, that is going to be the mid category, the 3,000, 3,500 per square foot category. And the Gachibowli IT district, Kondapur and Madhapur and Gachibowli, Popalguda, the new western side, this is the new growth potential area. Here I would say prices are again at 4,500. Whereas the Madhapur CBD by itself and Raidurg, this you can put it about 6,000 to 7,000 rupees a square foot. This is where the central, the metro.
6,000 to 7,000.
Yeah. And I'm not aware, I'm not sure if you're aware, but the government has recently put out an auction of properties in Raidurg. This is the main high-tech city IT district, right? And properties have been auctioned at 30 crores an acre. So this is a huge sentiment right from 2007-8, where the properties were sold at around 20 crores an acre. So there's a huge upside, and there's a lot of renewed demand, as you've mentioned, from the commercial space. And it's just a matter of time before it trickles down to the residential sector.
So this auction which is taking place, this is for commercial properties or residential?
This is all commercial. It's a mixed-use property. It's been auctioned by the government, and they've already auctioned, and they've already fetched a price of 30 crores an acre, ranging from 25 to 30, which is a very good upside, and it is a record price that we have seen in the history of Hyderabad.
Sham, now give me an idea of how you are protecting your market share. You're known as one of Hyderabad's largest developers, but now you're also facing a situation where developers from other cities have decided that they also want to be in Hyderabad, because perhaps that's going to be the next spot for a realty boom. So what are you doing to ensure that you are able to maintain your market share?
See, I would put it this way. There's always scope for market, a lot of players to come into the market. It is just that the number of players in the market, it gives a positive sentiment to the buyers that come in. If you have a 4 or 5 reputed names in a location, it only adds to the value of the product in there. So given that, we have been predominantly there in Hyderabad for about 30 years now. We have executed about 7 million square foot delivered, and we have another 12 million in the pipeline and about 4 million in the under construction right now. So given that scenario, residential space specifically is a very locally driven market in that sense, where clients want to know the buyer, the developer, they want to understand the market before they get in. So in that sense, being locally available here, I think it gives us a huge advantage. And also the history that we carry with us, our goodwill and our reputation for delivery, on-time delivery, and all those also factors in. So, it is about getting your fundamentals right. If you have the right location and your right pricing and product in place, I don't see a reason as to why you should go around.
Sure, fair enough. I think that's in every city. But Sham, my final question to you. You've already told us that Hyderabad is now going tall with people like you and other developers planning 40-story tall skyscrapers. Give us a little idea of the kind of residential properties that do well in Hyderabad. You know, is it villas? Is it apartments? Are there small-sized ones, large-sized ones? Is it a market that attracts luxury customers?
So, Nayantara, here the market is very Vastu compliant. I don't know if you heard of it, but Hyderabad is a very Vastu-centric market where Vastu plays a huge role. So, we always keep joking within our architect circle that what we really need here is the draftsman and not an architect as such, on a lighter note. But Vastu really plays a very important, kind of a role in how you plan your products here, because I think that's where a lot of people get it wrong in Hyderabad specifically, because it takes out a huge amount of understanding to, kind of get a sense of what the customer looks out for here. Given that, I think people are moving towards apartment, high-rise, gated community sort of environment of late. There is a huge demand for the luxury villa category, and Hyderabad predominantly, right from the beginning, has had large spaces in terms of its sizes. A typical two-bedroom apartment is between 1200 to 1400 square foot, and a three-bedroom apartment is between 1600 to 2200 square foot. These are sizes you can't really hear about in pan-India, right? I mean, Hyderabad predominantly has been a little more on the luxury side. People like their spaces here. So you need to really get the sizes and the product right in that sense.
Okay, thanks, Shyam, for joining us on CNBC TV 18. On a parting note, I'd just like to tell you that Vastu is also very big in Delhi, not just in Hyderabad. But thank you, sir, for taking time out.
It's getting on more and more as the days go by. It's how I see it.
So that's My Home Group saying a 10% price appreciation in the city is likely, and that's a healthy rate. He's also outlined the emerging hotbeds in the city. With that, we're completely out of time and have to wrap up this edition of Prime Property. Do remember, you can always email us your feedbacks and your queries, or even experiences with builders that you may want to share. Our email address is primeproperty@network18online.com. You can also tweet me. See you same time next week.